achieving an equal future in a COVID-19 world. This is the theme for International Women's Day 2021. Global Council for the Promotion of International Trade, GCPIT, has started this global conversation series with women achievers and leaders to understand their journey, to learn from their experiences, and also to pave the way for more women leaders to join the wagon to create a sustainable change in the society in terms of gender equality, diversity, and inclusion. We have a very special guest with us today to talk about her journey in global leadership. She is the CEO of Inspiring Decisions LLC and the founder of the Global Success Society. She holds the title of Ambassador in Zimbabwe and the Director of International Affairs for Open in Pakistan. She is a cross-cultural consultant, award-winning best-selling author, and an international speaker. She helps women CEOs and corporate organizations culturally immerse, collaborate, and scale globally while making meaningful connections worldwide. She provides you with the tools you need to succeed, such as business consulting and cross-cultural training, not to make cultural mistakes. She has a business footprint in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Zambia, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, London, Kuwait, Ghana, Kenya, Zimbabwe, Ethiopia, India, to name a few. She lived in Dubai for several years, where she provided business training and consulting services. She has over 20 years of business experience, including nonprofit organization and management. She is now one of GCPIT's 100 chosen global women leaders and also the winner of Global Women in Business Awards 2021. Let me proudly welcome Ms. Wendy Alexander to the show. Welcome, Ms. Wendy.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here and I'm so honored. Thank you for that amazing intro. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm really proud to have you with us today. And inspiringdecisions.com. What an inspiring name for an organization which aims at creating global leaders and entrepreneurs.
Thank you so much.
It totally connects with GCPIT's mission, and I believe we have a lot to do together to change this world. What was the inspiration to become a global leader and an inspirational speaker?
So, listen, honestly, I didn't wake up just deciding to do that. I actually was doing a lot of work in mental health, working with children. For many years as a nonprofit organization, helping children who were dislocated, from their families, children and families who were in poverty, who needed assistance. So I did a lot of that. But then all of a sudden this bug hit me, and it was, I ran into this lady and she was from London. And all of a sudden she just said, listen, can you help me with my nonprofit organization in London? And I was like, well, I've never done this. She's like, it's okay, you can learn. And I was like, okay. So I started working with her, and that's really where it started. And then from there, my husband started working in Iraq in logistics. And he said, well, we have to figure out how we're going to see each other. I said, yes, because I'm not going to Iraq. And so from there, he went to Afghanistan, and we were like, we really had to figure this out in between him coming home to the States. And so that's when he asked me to come to Dubai. And I was like, I don't know where that place is, because that was like 15, 16 years ago. And in the States, it just wasn't something people talked about. And then I went there and fell in love with the country, the culture, the people. And I was like, this is where I need to be. And I talk a lot about manifestation. And I'll never forget the day I stood there and I looked at him and I said, I'm going to have a business here. And I'm going to have a business in Abu Dhabi and Dubai. And he was like, I don't know if you can do that here. And I was like, yes, I can. And he was like, well, it's not the norm. And I was like, that's even better. And then so I did. I really, really started focusing on organizations. I said, how can I get in? What talent can I use? And the talent I used was my skills. And so I went and I started training the government there, some of the police departments, and pretty much got my contract in 2 days. And I did the old knocking on the door and just really selling myself. And that's where the journey started from there. And now as of today, and I continue to do business in Abu Dhabi and Dubai and different parts of the world just to represent women. And just to say that we can do it regardless of what people say. You can be the different narrative that you change. And I want to be that disruptor that changes things.
That's amazing. I'm really proud to be talking to you today. Actually, I'm getting goosebumps. A very, very powerful leader who is passionate about guiding women in business to success. What are the activities of inspiring decisions, especially for women in business?
So what we do is we do a lot of consulting. I help women to leverage their businesses globally because we sometimes have this local mindset. And I always talk about, let's talk about going global because your services, your stories are so empowering and people outside of your area needs to hear that. And so I help them with the culture of the different countries or continents that they want to go to. And then I also help them position globally because it's so important, number one, that you understand the culture and understand how culture and business align so that you don't make mistakes and offend people. I'm that's my first thing I talk about. That's what I continue to talk about. But also, how do you position yourself and what country will match your product or service? Because every country, it might not fit, what you have to do. So I actually help them also position their businesses as well. I help them get speaking engagements. I don't train on speaking, but I do have someone. But I want people to hear the voices of women all over the country, however that is. And so I will always continue to be a leader of that, and that's what Inspiring Decisions does, and we continue to do.
Yes, I was reading also about the Global Success Society, building global. I think the tagline is building global leaders from the inside out, right?
Yeah.
This is a group that is composed of women from all over the world. As a founder of Global Success Society, can you tell us what inspired you to start this society and what are its activities?
Thank you. I always love that question. I found a gap and a need. And what was happening was the women that I was training and I was coaching, after I would do it, they would still stay here in the US or they would stay in their country. And I was like, wait a minute, something's missing. And so I said, and I also found that they were struggling to get, true collaborations. They were struggling to get access. They didn't have women that they can actually sit and do genuine masterminds with. And so I said, this is what's missing. And so instead of me continue to go look for it, I'm going to create my own. And so I wanted to create what I call the International Table for Women. And so what I did was I, had a group of women, Dr. Robin Joppy and Erica T. Johnson, who are also the co-founders, started this journey with me and are still with me till this day. And what we did was we talked about the needs of women. And so after we started the Global Success Society, they come in, we do an interview, they have video, so it's not just, oh, everybody's welcome and you could just anybody. No, there's actually different positions that we have because we want to make sure that you succeed. So it doesn't make sense to put you in a speaker and say, oh, here, you could be a speaker and you're not ready to be a speaker, right? And so we definitely have mentorship as well. But what really, really started was that women really were not getting the exposure that they needed internationally. And also they were, and honestly, afraid to leave outside of the country by themselves. So once I started the Global Success Society, one of the main components was women actually going outside of the country. And so I created what is called the Global Business Connections Conference. And so I would have women join, which is called the Global Sisterhood Retreat for a week. And inside of that was the Global Business Connections Conference. So that was 2 events in one. And so because I really wanted them to, yes, I want you to be on a retreat, but I also want you to leave your country, but I also want you to leave with something. And so what I wanted them to leave with was 90% of them became international speakers where they couldn't get a speaking opportunity here in the United States. And so they became international speakers because of the Global Business Connections Conference. And so they were able to become international speakers. They were able to make collaborations and connections with women from all over the world that they would have never, ever been able to make those connections. My panel is diverse on purpose. And so I had over 6 or 7 nationalities on different backgrounds, religions on the panel on purpose so that we can all learn from each other and see that it doesn't matter where you come from, your background, your religion, that we are all sisters and it's a sisterhood. And every single time they left that conference, because I had it every year up until 2020 because of COVID, those connections are still there. And so it's amazing to see women just still connecting no matter where they are. And so my purpose was to fulfill a need. And I'm glad and grateful that I was able to.
That's amazing. That's amazing. The concept of sisterhood. I really love that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
You are also an award-winning, best-selling author, right? Can you tell us about the book Tear the Veil? I think which I
yes, yes, it is. Yes, Tear the Veil. I did it with 18 women. We talked about our struggles, our trauma, and our past history, because it's important to share your story. A lot of people, they look at me as this international, award-winning author, speaker, and traveling the world, but I also had a past that was very traumatic. And so I share that in the book, Tear the Veil, with 18 other amazing women who also had the same, well, not the same traumas, but they had trauma. But today they're engineers, they're doctors, they're psychiatrists. Like, it's amazing to see the transformation. And it was so important for us to show that, because people were looking at us like, you've done all of this, but you need to see where we also came from, because there's also someone out there who has had a traumatic past as well. And you want to be able to show that you can continue to do it no matter what. I've overcome a whole lot in my life to be where I am today. And so it wasn't easy. But I'm grateful that I continued to strive and I kept going. And now what I do is my struggles came during my teenage years. And so for me, it's very important to me that I work with youth all over the world. And so usually I'm grateful to online so I can actually share and speak to them and talk to them about the importance of, communication. That mental health is real, that it's okay not to be okay. And especially during this time of the pandemic, my voice is definitely needed because I was one of those teenagers who was struggling and had a lot of things happen to me. And so I share that with them in order to motivate them. And then they can see, wow, this is where she is. This is where I am right now during her teenage years, but I can do it and I can continue to push. And so the message behind the book, it really is just to empower women. Women and children all over the world. Now we traveled. We did a tour with that book too, and in different countries.
That's great to know. I can see the book behind you as well.
Yeah, we had to do two, and so Dr. Princess Fumi Hancock is the one who actually who brought this together, and we had never shared our story. Isn't that something? She got us to she pulled it out of us, but I'm so grateful that she did.
I was about to ask that who is your inspiration? You are an inspiration to many. I have become a huge fan of yours. So
thank you.
Your inspiration.
My inspiration is Dr. Princess Hancock. She is so amazing. She has been my mentor. She has been my rock. She is the person I go to for clarification. She pushes me. She tells me when I'm wrong. And a lot of these global, initiatives and my journey is because of her. Because some things I wouldn't have done, to be honest. And she said, no, you can do it. You can do it. You just have to believe that you can do it. And this is what you have to focus on, And it was one year she told me, it's time for you to sit down. And that's hard for me. I'm an executor. I'm always on the go. She said, it's time for you to sit down. You have to sit down. I said, what does that mean? Does that mean I can't be seen? Yes. She's like, yeah, that's exactly what it means. And so that was hard for me, but I'm grateful to have people like that because it really helped me to focus and position to where I am today. Had I not, I would have been all over the place. You have no idea. But she helped me to also share my story as well. She's an amazing woman. And then also Princess Rima. She's also
that was something I would really love to hear about.
Princess Rima.
What was your experience in meeting the princess?
No, so I have not officially gotten to meet her yet, but it's on the radar. So we actually had a lot of shows and stuff that I watched her, and I was actually in Saudi Arabia. Still didn't get to meet her directly, but she actually did have what is called the first breast cancer awareness ceremony. And it just happened to be during the time that we were in Saudi Arabia and I was working there. And so I was grateful to be a part of that. But also, she's just so empowering what she's doing in Saudi Arabia right now for women. When I was in Saudi, I couldn't go into the Starbucks. Women couldn't drive. There were so many things that women couldn't do. But I'm grateful for that experience also, because I think sometimes you have to experience things. You can appreciate what you do have. But also for me, it was a learning. I really love to learn about their culture. And so I was able to fully immerse fully when I was told that I couldn't come into the Starbucks. I went in there just walking one day and they told me I couldn't come in. But Princess Rima has changed a lot of that. You know, women are now driving, they're working. And so every single time I see her, she inspires me to do more for what it's the same thing. We have the same drive, the initiatives to make change. You know, I call her the disruptor of Saudi Arabia. That's exactly what she is for women. She is, you know? And so I'm very close. If 2021, with all the pandemics going on right now, I was about 2% of meeting her because I had an event that I would have. So I know it's coming. I've been in her presence in her space. And so I'm just waiting for that day. And I know it's coming. But she's my inspiration.
I'm sure you'll meet her and tell her that we are all proud of her. I didn't know that she was behind all this.
Yes, she's amazing.
That's amazing. And I know that you are a 5 a.m. club person and you write your gratitude journal and you schedule your weekly self-care appointments, right? So I would know more about that because many of the women don't do that. And you were talking about manifestation as well. So I would like to know how gratitude is connected to success.
Yes, I do. I wake up, you know, I'm up before 5 a.m. And it's because of the global journey. But I definitely like to wake up at 5 a.m. and it's my time, it's my space. No one disrupts me. I have my journal, and the first thing I want to write is what am I grateful for? Because I think that's what you definitely should start your day. It gives me the drive, what I need. And it gives me the mindset, you know, that in order to start my day, I need to know what I am grateful for. And I actually do it at night, you know, what happened that day as well. And so I journal my gratitude. I also have devotion. I talk to my CEO every morning so he can lead me the way. And I also make sure that I just take a time to give myself grace during that time. Because I am a type of person that has like a to-do list. And then if I don't get it done, sometimes I don't give myself enough grace. So during the 5 a.m. time, I always say, what are you giving yourself grace for today? And then I also write down 3 things that I'm actually grateful for, and also 3 things that I would like to see happen within my life. And I speak those and I write those down and I speak those daily. And I truly believe in manifestation. I really do. Now I didn't before. I'm very transparent. I was like, what are these people talking about? You know, and then all of a sudden I started looking back at my journey. I was like, well, wait a minute. I said that I was going to have a business in Abu Dhabi and Dubai. That happened. And then I wanted a longer contract. I wrote it down. I have 2 children. There's 25 and 22. And so I wrote down when my son, which is the youngest, was going to graduate high school, I said I wanted to have a longer contract in Dubai. I can't keep going back and forth. They will be in school. They will be okay. They understand this global family. And the day he graduated, I said I wasn't checking email, and something told me to go check it. And I got a longer contract the day he graduated, on his graduation day. And so that is a testimony to true manifestation. I also have written down several things that have really inspired my journey, but also have manifested. I think it's important that we write things down and that we speak them out and that we believe in them. It's a difference when you write stuff down, you speak it out, but you don't believe in it. But you also have to do the work as well. So the work has to come as well. So you can't just write it and speak it and don't do the work. And you also have to be willing to make some sacrifices along the way. I was without my children and my husband, you know, for many years. We just now came back to the U.S. in November, and we're now back as a family because we've been going on this journey for over 17 years, a long time, but we did it for our family and our children to be able to have what they needed because we couldn't find it here in the U.S.
Not just your family and children, you're doing amazing job for all the women as well. I'm really of that. And you are a best-selling author, and I'm sure an avid reader as well. So, how much important it is reading for a woman who is coming into global leadership?
It is so important. I actually I did a series probably about a month ago, and a challenge for people and to get them to read. You know, they just I don't know. I think some people and really struggle to read because it does take time, you know, out of your day. And so what I was doing was I said, what is the real reason why you don't want to read? And you know what they said? They was like, well, because I don't know how. They know how to read, but they don't know how to read an entire book. And so I said, okay, well, why don't you take, you know, the first 5 pages and just start there. And every day, just take 5 pages until you continue to build up to read. And so myself, I can read at least, I like to read and you're a leader, that's something that I would strive for you to challenge yourself. Join book clubs, and that will help you also. Because one thing about a book club is that when you go inside the book club, which I used to have those, and the women would come in, I didn't read, and they was like, I got to read the next time. And they would come back and they were able to be part of the conversation. The fear of missing out sets in, right? And so if you can start book clubs for women within your organization, that helps. I always post a book. I also share a book. I'm always doing that to inspire. And I was so grateful for one young lady who actually said that she never read. And all of a sudden, she started buying all these books and she was tagging me and she's been reading. And she said, this is all because of you. I've never done this before, though. And she is a leader as well. And so reading is very, very important. It should be a part of your daily routine.
That's really amazing. I have two daughters. They are both are readers. Both are readers. And I just asked her, what do you get out of reading? And my elder one said, see, I am not able to travel around the world, but I am able to learn a lot about women leaders across around the globe. So, especially for women, it is really, really important, right?
Yeah, love that.
So, and I was reading about the way you were reinvesting money. So, can you explain that? You said anybody, everybody cannot do that. You were earning money and you were reinvesting to raise capital, right? So, can you just?
I did. So honestly, for African American small business owners, it's very hard for us to find money and to have funding for our businesses. And so I saw that there was a need, and it's still to this day, I'm still trying to fulfill that need. And so I was like, well, you know what? Again, if I can't find it, then I need to create it. And so what I was doing was I went outside of the country to start my business because that's where I was able to land the lucrative contracts to be able to have funding. And I never, ever really told a lot of people about what I was doing. But if a woman came to me and she said she was starting her business, because I do consulting. And so when I was consulting with them, they might say, well, you know, I don't have a website, or I'm not able to start my domain. I would send them the money to be able to start their business out of the money that I was actually making over there. So it wasn't any type of structure. It was just something I wanted to do for those women. And then most recently, I do some pro bono trainings that I've done, but in return, the women would give me money, right? And this actually just happened. And they would give me some money. And I said, you know what? It's called Sister Sound. It's a group that I actually joined, and they decided that they wanted to donate to me. And I said, well, thank you so much for donating to me, but actually you're donating to a scholarship fund for women. And it's not just women here in the US, it's women who are globally. I also have a fund for women who are in Africa. as well. And so any money that I receive that's extra, any money, I have a 10% that goes into that fund from my own financial account as well. And the whole mission is just to have, when a woman comes to me and she says that I'm trying to start a business or I'm struggling in my business and I can't find the funding, then I want to be the person that they go to, as well as youth. You know, there's a lot of youth who are actually looking to start their businesses as well. And so I want to be able to help them start that. And so the goal for 2021 is to really get that structured in a way that I can also ask for more assistance. I never asked, I was just doing it. And now people are saying, no, you need to, you know, make this more structured so people can donate and give in, because I've been doing it all by myself and really out of the kindness of my heart, just because, but the need is just so great, especially for women, and funding is how you get ahead. You can't have a business without funding.
That's right. That's right. I have been thinking of a sustainable solution. You have really taught me that. I'm really impressed. So, as a female leader, what has been the most significant barrier? Were there any barriers in your journey?
Probably the biggest barrier would be, again, I'm in the U.S. This is why I went international. As an African American woman, is very hard for us to get ahead here. And when we do, we have fought, we have given everything that we can to get to where we are. I was able to scale here, and actually, you know, within 6 months, I was a CEO, or I was over an organization. And so that leadership role and drive and has always been there, but it was also because I knew it was a challenge at the same time. But what would happen here is once I got into those roles, where there were male counterparts, I noticed that it was a struggle for them to be able to receive direction from me. And so I always had to prove myself, and, you know, and I'm always telling, you know, this is my education. And I felt like I had to continue to keep on going back to school and get these certifications to prove myself. And I was like, this is really too much. And so I went out of the country, and people's like, but you went to the Middle East. You went to the Middle East, where it's definitely going to be tough for you. And then, but actually it wasn't, you know, it really wasn't. And probably 95% of the people that I trained when I first started out was men. And for some people that probably, it does look like a barrier from the outside for me, but they were very welcoming. And at first they were very, let's see if she knows what she's talking about, but it only lasted like 3 hours. It wasn't like here in the US where it lasted years of trying to prove. And so once I understood that, and how to actually, that they knew my worth in the Middle East, I felt like it was just easier. And so I just continued to build my business, and I continued to do trainings and working with actually 95% men in the Middle East and doing business. And it was so much easier. They never questioned me. They never asked me to show all of these certificates. And, you know, if I had a direction, if I had an opinion, whatever it was that I gave them and I was leading them with, they accepted and they believed in me. And that's when I said, you know what, I could be myself outside the country, and I don't have to deal with all of these extra barriers and, you know, being an African American and then be on top of it, being a woman. I didn't have to do all that. And so I was able to remove that barrier for myself, which is another reason why I continue to just help, you know, inspire women to, you know, look outside of your country, you know, because right now, especially here, we still continue till this day to have barriers. And so we have to create our own opportunities and zones to remove those barriers.
I think that is amazing advice. What do you think are the 3 major traits great leaders possess, and what advice would you like to give to the next generation of female leaders?
So I would say it would be definitely integrity. You have to have integrity with everything that you do. It's so important. You know, do what you say, and if you're not going to do it, don't say it. So have integrity. Also have a passion for what you do. If you don't like it, don't do it. It will definitely show. because a lot of times we're not able to give bios, but we can share our story and our why and the reason why we do things. And it's going to show through your passion and your speaking. And also, I think it's important for us to have empathy as a leader, a lot of empathy. As we are going through this pandemic, as a leader, you definitely have to show empathy for the people that you are serving and the people that are looking up to you, because people are going through challenges and changes. They're all human. Sometimes, I do believe that you have to definitely take off that leadership title and show a lot of empathy. And so that's one thing that I truly live by. I always, even when I do consulting with my one-on-one clients, we talk about family, and we talk about how are you feeling today. And sometimes we never get to the business, honestly, because they have things that's going on with their life. And so it takes a little longer just to get to the business because people have things going on, just like I do. And so I think that's also what makes me unique, is that I will wait 6-7 months to start talking about business, because I want to make sure that the person is okay within their personal life and mentally.
And I have a lot more to ask, but I'm coming to the last two questions. How do you feel being in the list of GCPIT's 100 global leaders?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I actually got really teary-eyed. I'm not going to lie. I have been talking about this live. I've been going live.
Oh,
yeah, I did.
That's great.
It's an honor, and I want people to know, like, you can do this. But I'm just so honored. I'm excited. It's a wonderful thing what you all are doing. I just hope you continue, and I'm just so inspired. And the response from people are just, they like, really? That's so neat. And people, because the reason why here in the US, you don't see a whole lot of that. We don't usually post things like that. And so I'm trying to now make this, okay, it's okay to post your certificate and your nomination. It's okay to brag about yourself, and pat yourself on the back. And so for me, I've been on this journey for a long time. And I've always said, I want my name and my mission and my assignment to represent me. And so when I got that inbox of nominations, I was like, oh, and it helped me to say, I'm on the right track. I'm doing the right thing. I just need to keep doing it. And so I'm honored. I'm forever grateful. I'm always here to serve you all and help you all as well. Any of your organizations that you have, I'm just here to give and serve.
You are doing amazing work, and I've seen it on your website. I'm really impressed. You really deserve this. Congratulations again. And we are celebrating Global Women in Trade Summit 2021 on March 5th, 6th, and 7th, where women entrepreneurs and leaders will be connecting to explore the next level of growth. And on March 8th, on International Women's Day, 100 amazing women will receive the Global Women in Business Awards 2021. What message would you like to give for the Global Women in Trade Summit 2021?
I want you to keep going. I want you to not give up. I want you to believe in yourself that you can do it, that there are no limits to what you can do, to make sure that you are inspiring, that you're grabbing women and you're taking them along with you, beside you, not behind you, and that you are leading the way together, because our youth are watching us. And so we have to be role models to them.
Exactly. Congratulations once again, Wendy. It was great to have you. I really enjoyed the conversation with you. Wish you all the best for your future projects.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you all.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, dear audience, for being with us till now. We'll be back with another powerful global woman leader tomorrow. If you think you are an elite performer and looking for exponential leadership, join us. For all the information, visit our website at gcpit.org. This is Aparna G. Kumar signing off. Stay safe and good night.